I've lived on this quiet street for years, long before the neighborhood became some manicured HOA nightmare. My home sits on the corner, nothing fancy, but mine. The only thing that stuck out front was my sturdy wooden mailbox, painted navy blue with silver numbers, standing like a little soldier by the curb. For nearly a decade, that box held up just fine. Then, out of nowhere, things changed. One morning, I walked out to find the mailbox snapped clean off. At first, I chalked it up to a freak accident. Maybe a kid on a bike hit it or a garbage truck clipped it. So I replaced it, screwed it tighter, planted it deeper. 3 days later, same thing. This time, tire tracks led right up to the base. Whoever it was didn't even try to miss it. I was annoyed, but I wasn't going to play detective over some punk driver. I patched it up again. I replaced the post and even added reflectors on both sides. Thought maybe visibility was the issue. Nope. The following weekend, flattened again. Post split. Mailbox dented like a crushed soda can. Now it wasn't just damage, it was a pattern. It always happened at night or before dawn. No witnesses, no apology, nothing. The fourth time I found it destroyed, I noticed something else. The exact same low-profile tire tracks, every time. Someone wasn't just hitting it by mistake, they were cutting the corner every single time, right into my box. The angle made no sense unless someone was making a lazy, fast turn. Not a truck, something smaller. Sporty. I tried catching the culprit, even camped by the window with coffee one Saturday, but of course that night nothing happened. The next morning, boom. The box was twisted again. Whoever it was, they were either watching me or just that damn lucky. I wasn't. At that point, I knew I had to go higher. This wasn't an accident. Someone had decided my mailbox didn't belong, and if I was right about the direction and tire tracks, then the problem wasn't just some random idiot. It was coming from someone on the HOA board itself. If you love HOA-Karen stories, like and subscribe for more videos like this. The next morning, I took my photos, jotted a timeline of every incident, and marched down to the HOA office. It's a small brick building tucked next to the community pool, lined with hydrangeas and two painfully white benches like it was some kind of courthouse. Inside, the air smelled like oversprayed lavender and fake professionalism. Karen sat behind the desk in a bright yellow blazer, tapping her acrylics on the table like she'd been waiting to ruin someone's day. Her hair was styled within an inch of its life, and beside her coffee mug was a pair of keys, attached to a glittery Lamborghini key fob. Bingo. "I'd like to file a complaint," I started calmly, setting the photos on the counter. "Someone's been running over my mailbox. It's happened 5 times in 2 weeks, and based on these tire marks, it looks like a low vehicle, possibly a sports car, always comes from the same direction." Karen barely looked down. "And," she said, sipping from her mug with zero interest, "I'm hoping you can help me identify the driver, or at least send a community notice. It's damaging property." Karen glanced at the photos, scoffed, and tilted her head. "Honestly, mailboxes aren't really our priority, and maybe yours is just too close to the road. That's a traffic hazard waiting to happen." "It's within regulation, Karen. I measured it, and it was there for 9 years without a single problem." She leaned back in her chair, smiled like a cat playing with a dying mouse. "Well, if someone keeps hitting it, maybe it's a sign to move it back a bit, or reinforce it. Besides, how do you know it's anyone from our neighborhood?" I stared at her. "Because all the tire tracks come from one direction, your street." Karen blinked, then chuckled. "Oh, sweetie, are you suggesting I did it?" She picked up her keys and jingled them like I was supposed to be impressed. "I drive a Lamborghini. You think I'd risk scratching it on your crusty little mailbox? Please." I didn't flinch. "If the shoe fits." Karen narrowed her eyes. "You have no proof. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have real HOA matters to handle." As I turned to leave, she added, "Maybe next time, don't put your cheap mailbox where people can accidentally hit it." Her tone, venomous. Her smirk, like she'd won, but I didn't storm out. I smiled because now I was sure. After that HOA meeting, I knew it in my bones. Karen was the one wrecking my mailbox. The way she dismissed me, mocked me, and basically admitted her yellow Lamborghini couldn't possibly be involved because it was too expensive to scrape. Classic Karen logic. But I also knew something else. She wasn't going to stop. Not until I did something she didn't see coming. So I started with basic deterrence. I placed reflective cones around the mailbox. They vanished within 2 days. Then I tried a small solar-powered camera hidden in a fake birdhouse. It mysteriously fell and shattered before it could record a thing. I even added decorative rocks around the base, but someone, guess who, must have moved them because they were stacked beside the sidewalk the next morning like a passive-aggressive sculpture. That's when I stopped playing defense. I rang up my insurance provider, acted casual, and asked a hypothetical. Let's say, purely as an example, I said, I had a mailbox on my property and I wanted to replace it with something sturdier, like, say, steel, because of repeated damage. Would that be okay? The rep chuckled. As long as it's on your property and not violating county codes, you can make it out of bricks, boulders, or titanium if you want. Just put up a clear sign in case anyone tries to claim it was a trap. Boom. I ordered a custom steel post, galvanized, commercial grade, thick as a baseball bat. Then I welded a steel core mailbox to it, painted it the same dusty blue as the last one, and embedded the base into 200 pounds of concrete. Looked normal. But this thing could stop a tank. I added a bright orange sign right next to it. Private property, do not trespass, camera on premises. There was no camera, but Karen didn't know that. Then I waited. For 4 days, nothing happened. The mailbox stood proud and untouched, the steel gleaming under the sun like it was mocking every past attempt. I almost thought she'd gotten the message, until that 5th morning. A fresh tire rut, yellow paint scraped across the bottom. Mailbox? Untouched. Lamborghini? To be determined. The game had just changed. That night I couldn't sleep. I had a feeling Karen wasn't going to take the L quietly. She'd already tried to wreck my old mailbox multiple times, just out of pure pettiness. And now I just served her a trap wrapped in steel. The scraped yellow paint confirmed she'd already taken a swipe. But she didn't know what she was up against yet, so I stayed alert. By the 3rd morning, I was up early, sipping my coffee from behind my bushes like some suburban Batman. Phone in hand, screen recording ready. Then I heard it, the high-pitched growl of that yellow Lamborghini, echoing off every driveway like a spoiled child throwing a tantrum. I crouched low. She was coming fast, too fast. She wasn't creeping by like the other mornings. No, Karen was charging. She was out for revenge. Her tires hit the edge of my lawn and spit mud like a slingshot. She gunned it right toward my mailbox, probably thinking she could knock it over once and for all. Her tinted windows hid her face, but I could practically hear her shouting, "Let's see your little sign, stop me now!" Big mistake. The moment her bumper slammed into that mailbox, everything changed. The steel post didn't budge, but her Lamborghini? The hood crumpled like paper. The bumper exploded into fragments. A cloud of steam hissed out from under the hood, and the car screeched as the airbags deployed inside. Karen flew out of the driver's side door, mascara streaked, hair flying, and absolutely fuming. "Are you insane?" she screamed, pointing at the mailbox like it was a bomb. I stood up from the bushes, calm as ever, phone still recording. "You did this on purpose," she screeched. "You ran into my clearly marked mailbox on my property," I said flatly. I warned the HOA multiple times. 2 sheriff deputies rolled up minutes later, probably called by one of the neighbors who heard the crash. Karen ran to them crying, ranting about property traps, sabotage, and even tried to throw in emotional distress. Then I showed them the video. One deputy turned to the other and just said, "Well, that's clear as day." Karen's face? Pale. Frozen. She knew she was screwed. The report blamed her. She was fined for reckless driving, property damage, and get this, had to pay for her own Lamborghini repairs out of pocket. Mailbox? Still standing. The end.